Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Stories of Yonko back with another video, and we got to talk about that man, Pat Riley, man. He built different. That's all I can say, man, because apparently he's out on the Dame sweepstakes. Like, he's no longer interested. Well, that's the reports. You know, we don't really know what Pat Riley is up to. He could be playing chess, and we could be playing checkers for all we know, right? But Pat Riley, he wants to give up as little as possible to get Dame. And the report came out that they offered Tyler Hero and 3 or 2 first-round picks for Dame. That was the offer. And the Portland Trailblazers said no. And that was that. So the Portland Trailblazers are currently outsourcing to other teams such as the Brooklyn Nets, the Toronto Raptors, and other teams just to try to get a deal done before training camp. And training camp is next week. Or this week. I can't remember. Like, all I know is the season starts next month. But listen, man, Pat Riley, I can't blame him for feeling the way that he feels and just seeing the East and saying, we can make it back to the promised land, because you got to keep in mind the East is much weaker than the West. Why? Because you got to look at the top teams or even the playoff teams within the East. You have the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, they're trying to go after Dame now, but Pascal Siakam is your best player in 2024. Yeah, it's 2023, but we're going into the 2024 season. Like, that is not a winning team. You have the 76ers that are about to implode with a locker room cancer in James Harden that wants to go out west again. And a superstar, not even a superstar, my bad, I didn't even mean to say that. A star that can't even stay healthy within the playoffs, Joel Embiid, and he underperforms. And then you have the Boston Celtics, who have a number 2, a Robin, as their first option, and that's going to choke within the playoffs or, the finals if they even make it there again. He's just going to underperform. He's a choke artist, Jason Tatum. And I'm not going to yell on Jaylen Brown because he outperformed Jason Tatum in the 22 finals. And, that doesn't get talked about. It is what it is. Then you have teams such as the Atlanta Hawks, who are still trying to figure out what they're going to do and how far they can make it. Then you have the Brooklyn Nets that are in the same situation. And it's like, dude, the Milwaukee Bucks are old as shit, and they're not getting any better. They've been fraudulent before then and after. Like, 2021 was a fluke. Like, it's just crazy how the East is right now. It really is. You got the Knicks that are the Knicks, and they're within that same bubble as the Brooklyn Nets and the Atlanta Hawks. And you have the Cavs. They're about to lose Donovan Mitchell. Cavs fans, they're upset. Oh, that's a bad take. Y'all niggas are losing him. It is what it is. So Pat Riley would not be incorrect or wrong to feel like they can make it out the East again, considering how weak the East is, not only mentally, but talent-wise. They can do it all over again, but I guess a lot of people are just underestimating the value that Gabe Vincent and Max Strus brought to the table, because those were elite role player numbers. These guys were playing their ass off in the playoffs. Sure, Strus, like he petered out towards the end, but if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have been there. So, yeah, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, like, they're good, but it's like Jimmy Butler, he got an engine that he can go, but it's only a V6, man. He ain't got that V8. So Damian Lillard too. But listen, man, Pat Riley, I understand what he's doing, because it's his job as a GM to not only plan for now but for the future. And many fans, like, they just get on these GMs and say that they're terrible, they're this, they're that. We are living in one of the greatest eras, if not the greatest era of GMs. Brad Stevens has done great so far as a GM. Pat Riley has done great. Masai Ujiri, great. Even though I get on Sean Marks, he has done great. You have a lot of people that are in these GM positions that are currently within the NBA that have done really, really good jobs. Rob Pelinka, look what he did last season. We are in a really good era of GMs, and they get so much hell and so much just vitriol when they're just trying to prepare for the future. And now it's their job. If they do a terrible job, they lose their job. So it's just, I get where Pat Riley's coming from. I think that the Heat can still play. I don't think that they would make it out the East though, but I think that they can still compete. And if the goal is to compete, if Heat culture is real, which I believe it is, then who knows what they can do. But they have to fill in those gaps, because this entire saga has been about getting Dame. Dame going to Miami. Dame. Like, that's what this entire summer has been about when it came to the Miami Heat. It's getting Dame. They let Gabe Vincent walk and Max Strus walk, because they thought they were going to get Dame. And once it became evident that with, I guess, the Portland Trailblazers were not willing to take in exchange to give up Dame, like, all of a sudden Pat Riley was like, you know what, fuck it, because we're not giving up Jokic, we're not giving up Hawkins, because Jimmy Butler is getting old, Bam Adebayo, he's in his prime, and it's like, if Jimmy Butler just falls off a cliff, we can trade him, we can trade Bam Adebayo, and we can just build around Jokic and Hawkins. And they're not wrong for wanting to do that. He's not wrong. So if the Heat fans are upset with Pat Riley for dropping the ball on this one, you got to understand that Jimmy Butler is not no spring chicken. Neither is Dame. And if he trades for them and gives up all these young players and these assets, what little assets they actually have, they're ass out for a very, very long time. So, hey, Pat Riley, he got to do what he got to do. And I'm not mad at him. Well, I'm not a Heat fan, but hey, it is what it is. Y'all gonna have to get over it. And if another team swoops in and gets Dame, whether it be the Raptors or whatever team, it was meant to be that way. You got to think about it, like, because the Knicks have the assets to give up. The Knicks have the assets to get up. The Brooklyn Nets have the assets to give up. The Raptors have the assets to give up, and still be straight within the end. So it's like, that's how the NBA works. Sometimes you don't always get your way. I know we're living in the era, like I said, ruled by some of the greatest GMs of all time. Daryl Morey, even though like people are giving him hell. Look what he did in Houston. That's what even though that was to James Harden. But we are spoiled by GMs always getting something done. Always making the big trade happen, to the point that when it doesn't happen, we're looking at them as if they're incompetent and they're not good at doing their jobs. But in reality, this is how the NBA has always been. We are just living in like super GM era, to the point that if something doesn't go down, if the team that the player wants to go to, if it doesn't manifest, all of a sudden we're getting on the GM. All of a sudden we're questioning the GM. Sure, GMs still make mistakes, but they're human. They're not robots. So it is what it is, man. We're going to see how things turn out for the Miami Heat, how things turn out for the Portland Trailblazers and Damian Lillard, the Toronto Raptors, and all that stuff. And, hey, I'm excited for it. Peace.